At a certain point, information stops informing. It doesn't clarify, it doesn't guide, it just accumulates. What once helped you orient yourself starts to feel heavy. Advice overlaps, opinions contradict, updates arrive faster than they can be integrated. This is when information turns into static. Not because it's wrong, but because there's too much of it moving faster than your ability to process meaningfully. Noise isn't defined by volume, it's defined by interference. Most noise enters through comparison. You look sideways to check if you're doing it right, if you're ahead or behind, if your pace still makes sense. Comparison feels responsible, like calibration. But constant comparison fragments attention. Every time you measure yourself against someone else's timeline, your own trajectory blurs. You start adjusting prematurely, tweaking things that don't need to be touched, questioning decisions that haven't had time to respond yet. Comparison doesn't just add noise, it pulls you off course, slowly, subtly, without announcing the deviation. Not all input is signal. Some input exists only to provoke reaction, headlines, hot takes, endless optimization advice. Stimulation feels useful because it's active. It keeps the mind busy, engaged. But engagement is not direction. Signal is quieter. It connects directly to what you're building. It informs the next small adjustment, not a complete rethink. Stimulation, on the other hand, creates motion without movement. Learning to tell the difference is less about intelligence and more about restraint. If input doesn't change what to do next, it's probably noise. Reducing noise doesn't mean withdrawing from the world. It means choosing fewer reference points. You don't need 10 perspectives. You need one or two that align with your direction and enough silence to integrate them. This is where many people hesitate. They fear narrowing inputs would make them rigid, close-minded, out of touch. But narrowing inputs isn't about certainty, it's about continuity. You can stay open without being flooded. Isolation cuts you off from reality. Noise cuts you off from yourself. There is a difference. Direction doesn't always arrive as clarity. Often it arrives as a sensation, a sense of rightness, of alignment, of forward pull. Noise drowns this out. When inputs multiply, you stop listening inward. You outsource direction to external signals, metrics, opinions, trends. But direction is not voted on, it's felt. This doesn't mean it's irrational, it means it's embodied. When noise drops, direction becomes noticeable again, not louder, clearer. Clarity is rarely achieved by adding more information, more options, more strategies. Clarity emerges through subtraction, removing inputs that don't serve the current phase, letting go of comparisons that don't apply, reducing stimulation until signals can surface. You don't lose direction when you reduce noise, you recover it. Less input sharpens trajectory, not because you know more, but because you're no longer distracted from what you already know. This is subtle logic.